Hey, what's up, guys? So, it has been about a week since I last posted a video here on my channel, and in that video, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. I just finished doing some push ups, and so something I've been looking to do like pretty much once a day or so. And I know the last video that I posted before that one, I made a video, produced it, and I went over some topics and everything on there. It was called Anime Powers and Hidden Applications. And I did it over a period of a couple of months, wrote the script for it and everything. And then it's kind of one of my best performing videos, if I'm to be honest. It just hasn't been up as long as my other videos. But excuse me. The last video that I posted on the channel, the one after that one, was talking about some interesting topics. Really, it was just me checking in with you guys and just giving you guys an update as to what's going on in my life and what I've been up to. And so now I'm thinking maybe I'm going to post a video on here maybe once a week or so. So that's why I'm making the video today. And for today's video, I just want to talk about basically just pick up right where we left off. And it's not a simple, it is a simple task. It's not an unchallenged task to just pick up on the topic of life and death. Okay, so I mean, I'm pretty much just going to go off the cuff here, just kind of wing it. I don't think it needs to be overly complicated. And so I'm just going to start out with a quote from an ancient scripture. You may or may not know where it comes from, this quote, but really the source is not as important as the substance. Okay? And so the quote is as simple as this. It says, "Whoever will find his life will lose it, and whoever will lose his life for my sake will find it." Now, you probably know who said that. You may not know who said that. But the point of it is, it was spoken by this person that is the embodiment of truth. So it basically says, whoever loses their life for the sake of truth will eventually find it. And so the reason why I'm starting out with that quote is because I left off on the previous video talking about, and even the video before that, I was talking about death. And since, I mean, you may have found this channel due to the Gateway Experience, and one of the main purposes of the Gateway Experience, well, first of all, it's to know yourself, but then also to achieve the out-of-body experience or something similar. I mean, it's hard to explain what it could be to be out of your body. There's different things that, and I'm not going to go too much into it. I've covered it in my entire Gateway Experience documentation, which I did not finish. I only reached up to the point where I think the last tape I did and I practiced, and even now I had to take steps back to really understand what was going on, because even though I practiced every tape 10 times, I don't think it was nearly enough. Now I'm really doing the 1 month patterning tape and the free flow 10, and the tape that I got stuck on that I still have not been able to really get back to, but maybe I'm going to touch on a couple of those topics right now, is the one that's called the 5 questions. And those 5 questions include, like, why are you here on this earth, and these things. It's kind of really high level topics. It really forces you to focus on your purpose for life, and so that's part of the reason why I started that quote, is because who knows if we continue after this life once we die. Who knows if that's what happens or what happens, right? It's like we have theories, but there's not really any proof, and there may never be any proof. And so the only proof that we can find is when we go within ourselves, maybe some hypnotherapy or whatever it is, like I touched on last video. But really, that's part of what I'm going to talk about this video, is that whole concept of losing your life for the sake of truth, of really understanding your purpose and living life in truth. I mean, it's all connected. You know, I don't want this to be like a super cliche video or anything like that. I just want to provide value. That's another thing that I realized is, I mean, I've just met so many different people that have made millions of dollars, like millions, tens of millions of dollars. I've shaken their hand, or shook their hand. I don't know which one it is, but it doesn't really matter. The point is that you can gain the whole world and lose your own soul, and then what would it be for? You know? So a lot of people, they live their whole life through material reality, and that's all they know, but they never really get to understand the whole spiritual side of life. And so I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but I'm just going to talk about it either way. And hopefully the ones that are ready to listen, maybe that this will be a message for them. And if it's not, then that's totally fine as well. Maybe one day you will realize it. Maybe after you gain a bunch of material things. And like, I mean, I've gotten some success in my life, you know, and I still would like to have some success in my life, but it wouldn't mean anything if I never help anyone, right? Like, that's the whole point of life, is what I want to say. And so it really is about helping people, because if I was to sit here and give you $100, which I would like to do, I would like to give Mind Over Matter CB this $100. Okay, but maybe what I'm saying right now to anyone listening may be worth more than $100. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, like, hey, look, maybe sometimes there's things that are worth more than money. There's things that are, maybe that's the reason why Mind Over Matter has not come forth and said, hey, look, I'm willing to accept this money. Maybe they don't want the money. I don't know. Maybe somebody else could use it. Maybe somebody else is in a better or in a different situation where they could better take advantage of it because they really need it. You know, they really need to eat food, like physical food. And even that's another whole topic that I could get into, which may not even be necessary, but who knows? The whole point is that there's different ways. Like, I could go out and give a bunch of people a bunch of money. I could go out and give a homeless person $10,000, and they might just snort it up their nose or something. I don't know. And then it's all gone. And then they never really changed themselves. You know, they never really found a home, right? It's like, what's the whole point of it at that point? So I would much rather just give of myself, the only thing that is actually real. You know, like, there's some things that are not real, that are just an illusion, that are just, you know, for whatever reason, just things that our world has paid a little bit too much attention to, instead of the things that they maybe should be paying attention to, which is things like principles and, you know, first things first and that type of thing. And so what are principles, right? That is what principles literally mean, is first things first. So if you're going to build a house or build a home, I mean, you have to start with the foundation. There's no other way. If you don't start with the foundation, if you just build it on the sand, then, you know, the wind comes and it blows it all away. Or the big bad wolf comes around, and then you go try to go to your brother who built it in bricks, you know, or built the house out of bricks, not straw. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I'm saying. And so what are they? I mean, it's pretty obvious, you know. It's just there's certain times where we go through our lives and we lie to ourselves. Why? Because we're afraid of that which is the truth, right? And so one of the main obstacles for people to achieve the quote-unquote out-of-body experience, it's nobody's fault other than just the reality of the situation that we all find ourselves in, which is we're human beings and we're hardwired for survival, okay? We are hardwired for this instinctual need to survive, okay? To not die, okay? So that's just like I touched on in my last video, which is like, hey, you know, if you were to find yourself outside of your body and you were to look down on your body, you might actually think that you're dead. So your brain itself protects you from seeing that reality of maybe you yourself going out of your body when you sleep, for example. If we all find ourselves going out of body, which when you look at the brain frequencies and all the studies scientifically that the Bob Monroe Institute did, it's the evidence is right there that based on the brain frequencies, we all go to an out of body state when we go through the theta and the delta frequencies. I mean, that's just a theory, but it makes sense because if you look at the dreams that we all, I mean, I've just experienced certain things in my life where I dream about something and then the next day I find myself living it, right? That type of thing. And so what do you call that? Is that like, which one came first, the chicken or the egg? You know, is it something that you created or is it something that came from outside of myself? I'm not going to pretend like I'm God, you know, I'm not going to pretend like I created this thing, you know? So I'm going to say, hey, you know, it was probably something that I'm just kind of just going through it. And maybe I'm co-creating it in one way or another. But that's the whole point is that, hey, if we all go out of body and we don't remember it, maybe it's because we're in denial. You know, maybe it's because we want to believe that we're maybe, you know, something like maybe we don't want to. It's not that we want to believe that we're something that we're not. That's not what I want to say. But it's more like that as human beings, I think we want to associate with our physical body more than we need to. I think that's what it is. You know, I think that's why people find themselves falling trap to a lot of the things of the world we live in, is that we associate our physical body. We want to exalt our physical body to a level that it is not, okay? Maybe we are part of God and maybe we are close to him one way or another. And the thing is, though, that our bodies are not part of that. Our bodies are here on the earth and we should definitely know that we are grounded there. And we have to remember that our bodies are going to stop us from going into that out-of-body realm, right? And so why? Because of that whole instinctual sense. And it's hard to be like, hey, look, you know, I'm ready to die, okay? That's a little bit borderline. Like, I'm not trying to tell anybody to do anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just not being afraid, because knowing that, hey, look, if you look at the video that I posted, not this video, not the video before that, but the video before that one, the one that was called Anime Powers and Hidden Applications. If the CIA is over here and conducting experiments and doing these things and training their people to do these things, to go out of their body, then hey, maybe there's something to be looked at here. Maybe we do survive after death. Maybe this isn't just the first life that we're living. You know, maybe. I'm just saying maybe. I'm not trying to say like I know for sure, okay? I'm just saying, hey, maybe consider that possibility. Can you maybe consider that that is the truth? I don't know. If you could lose your life for that idea, meaning the truth that this is just one part of who we really are. Okay, who we really are. Who are we really, right? Are we our habits? Are we our mistakes? Are we our experiences? I don't know. Is that who we are? Or are we more? Or do we have a choice to change those habits, to change those experiences, to create a different life? Not on our own, because that would be ridiculous. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if I could do everything on my own. And I wouldn't want to do anything on my own. How boring would that be? You know what I mean? How arrogant would that be? Okay, there's different terms for things that you could call those types of people, but I'm not going to go into that in this video. What I am going to go into is the idea of investing our lives, okay, expanding our consciousness by being more than just myself, by me and you, okay? If you're watching this video, maybe I'm investing an idea that is going to help you in your life. Maybe I'm investing my life into you, therefore I am losing it. I'm not saving it, okay? It's not like I have this water that I'm just trying to hoard, okay? And I'm just like, hey, I'm not going to give it to anybody else. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm saying, hey, look, I'm willing to lose it. I'm not looking to find it. If you find something on the street, you go out and you find a rock, and then what do? If you found it and you try to save it, then what happens to the rock? Okay, then that's yours and whatever, but then maybe over time, I don't really know where I'm going with this analogy, but I think you get the point. Okay, when you find something, you try to keep it, but then if you lose it, maybe you're giving it to somebody else. And so if you're willing to lose your life for the sake of truth, meaning give your life up for the sake of truth, of, the whole idea of principles, okay? Then maybe you will actually find it. Maybe you'll actually find yourself in others. Maybe you'll actually realize that who you are, who you see around you is who you are. Okay, maybe you found this video for a reason. I don't know, maybe something like that. I'm not sure. But that's what I want to say. And I think that the source of all of this material, I think if you don't know, then maybe you'll find out. And if you do know, then you definitely know what I'm talking about. But the reason why I don't necessarily want to relate those two and say, hey, this is where I'm getting all this stuff, is just in case you yourself have some kind of negative connotation or maybe some kind of negative experience with the source. Because, hey, look, maybe the source is within all of us. Maybe the source is you. Maybe I found all of these things while I was doing the gateway experience on my own, right? Like, if you live your life 33 years or however long you want to live, like, hey, once you find and learn all the lessons, you can learn those without reading a book ever. We're just looking at yourself, just going through your experiences, just reading your own patterns and understanding, like, hey, there's a pattern here. Maybe there's something else going on. Maybe it's not just all just physical. Because when you really zoom in to the whole structure of even just the atom, right? Like, hey, if you zoom into it, it's mostly empty space, right? So, I don't know, just something to think about, some food there for your thoughts. And yeah, I think I can't really go any further than that. At least not in this video. Maybe I'll pick it up a week from now, and maybe I'll just keep making videos every week, or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I'll miss a week. I don't want to bind myself to this, but right now it is 10:33 a.m. I gotta get going to work and stuff. So I'm still part of the world, and I'm still looking to smile at people and do everything else. So hopefully this message reaches you at the right time, and if not, then maybe eventually it will reach somebody else that may have needed to hear it or something like that. I don't freaking know. Maybe I'll just try to do some other type of stuff. If I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. I don't know anything really, but anyway, peace.